Hey guys, this week's video is dedicated to all our brothers and sisters in the land of Israel and all around the world. Can't wait to see a whole bunch of you for First Friday tonight. We'll celebrate together. I want to share with you an idea that I came across from a friend of mine. And that is, he wrote that if you look throughout history, the leaders of movements that were all about moral progress, etc., they all were great orators. Typically, they had great oratory skills. They gave great speeches. They had a great way of communicating to the masses and giving over their message. Think about the civil rights leaders, and all these great movements had leaders who had a way of giving over their message in a very convincing way, in a, silky words. They had a great, a way of communicating. And yet the Torah tells us that the very first defender of human freedom had what the Torah calls sealed lips. In this week's Torah portion, Pasha Shemot, we begin the book of Exodus. And we have the story of the Jewish people being enslaved by Pharaoh in Egypt. And we have the birth of Moses. Moses growing up, coming to the land of Midian. And it's there where he encounters the burning bush. And God speaks from the burning bush and commands Moses, I have heard the suffering of the Jewish people. Go down to Egypt and tell Pharaoh to let the Jewish people go. And now begins a back and forth between Moshe, and God. And Moshe says, I'm the wrong person for the job. I have heavy lips. Moshe had a very heavy stutter. It was very hard for him to communicate clearly. And God says, don't worry, Moshe. I'm going to be with you every step of the way. And they go back and forth on this. And you know what's interesting is God was telling Moshe something very special, which is that you can look at a challenge as an impediment, or you can look at it as maybe that's the reason. That's what makes you uniquely qualified for a specific task. The Medrash tells us in Shemot Rabbah that one of the reasons why God had chosen Moshe to be the leader of the Jewish people was for his sensitivity. He was a shepherd, and God saw how he cared for every single sheep. In fact, the way he came to the burning bush was that there was one of his sheep, the baby sheep, ran away, and Moshe chased after it. He had a huge flock. Okay, I'm going to chase after every single one. But no, he did. And that's what led him to the burning bush. And it was that sensitivity to every single one of his flock that God says, you are uniquely qualified to be a leader. You are uniquely qualified because you have that empathy and sensitivity for every single one of your flock. And God was now telling Moshe something else. What you view as an impediment, you don't have the oratory skills, you're not going to be able to give over your message in a convincing manner. God could have taken that away. In fact, when Moshe says, how will the people believe that I'm a messenger of you? God gives him different miracles to perform in front of the Jewish people. His staff turning into a snake. You don't think God could have just made Moshe great oratory skills, taken away his stutter? Of course he could have, but he didn't. He didn't take away what Moshe views as an impediment. He tells him, he flips it. He says, what you view as an impediment is what makes you uniquely qualified. Your sensitivity, because you have this challenge, you have a unique sensitivity for every single individual, of every single background. The challenges that they have, you will be sensitive to. That's what will make you uniquely qualified to be a leader of the Jewish people, of all different types of people. God was telling Moshe, what you view as an impediment, I view as a unique quality that makes you qualified. So this is a powerful idea. Whenever we have a challenge, we can view it as two ways. We can view it as a challenge that's slowing us down, that's impeding us in some way. Or maybe we can flip it. Maybe this challenge in front of us is actually going to launch us forward. It's actually going to take us to the next level. Whether it's a personal challenge, something that I'm struggling with, instead of viewing it as this is a weakness of mine, maybe this is my strength as well. Maybe this is what's going to take me to the next level. Shabbat Shalom.